The central question behind Prop 16 is whether California should have the option to consider race, ethnicity, or gender when deciding on state contracts, who is hired for a public job, and which student is admitted into public colleges and universities. The inception of Proposition 16 comes more than 2 decades after California became the first state to ban affirmative action with passing Prop 209. This happened in 1996 when Prop 209 added Section 31 to the California Constitution, which read, "The state shall not discriminate against or grant preferential treatment to any individual or group on the basis of race, sex, color, ethnicity, or national origin in the operation of public employment, public education, or public contracting." In November, a yes vote on Prop 16 would repeal Prop 209, bringing affirmative action back to California. A no vote would keep affirmative action banned.
There are lots of benefits that could accrue to all of us, of all races and all genders.
Thomas Saenz is the president of the Mexican-American Legal Defense and Educational Fund. He is a key co-chair for the Yes on Prop 16 campaign, who says reintroducing affirmative action to the state will help address racial and gender disparities in state contracting, public jobs, and competitive public colleges.
This really only applies to competitive admissions, and that means we have lots of folks who are qualified, ready to participate in the program, but because we don't have enough seats, we engage in selective admissions. And that's the only area where there would be the kind of rigorous and careful consideration of whether we can look at affirmative action to address the disparities in admission to the program that we continue to see.
Saenz pointed out that yes on Prop 16 doesn't mean universities will implement racial quotas, which was ruled impermissible in a Supreme Court ruling in 1978. Instead, he believes it may allow universities to be more conscious about their racial and gender makeup within the limits of federal law.
Proposition 16, with the yes vote, will bring us all to an opportunity for all state in California.
Gail Harriet thinks otherwise. She's a law professor at the University of San Diego who was a key co-chair of the Prop 209 campaign. Harriet believes an opportunity for all is the last thing a yes vote on Prop 16 would achieve.
If there really were institutional racism, the last thing in the world you'd want to do was authorize the University of California to use its discretion about whether or not to discriminate on the basis of race.
Harriet says when Prop 209 passed, universities started to pay more attention to disadvantaged students who come from a low-income family or whose parents may not have a college education, giving them a little leg up during the admission process.
I don't want to throw all that away and go back to the system where race meant that each student was going to be judged not really on their individual achievements, but on their individual achievements as a member of their race, different standards for each race. And that's what it was. If you were Asian, you had to have hundreds of SAT scores, SAT points, higher than if you were African American.
And again, a yes vote on Prop 16 would bring affirmative action back to the state, which would allow race, ethnicity, gender, and national origin to be considered in public education, public employment, and public contracting within the limits of federal law. A no vote will keep affirmative action banned from the state. For 23 ABC, Bayan Wang.